Let's go. Okay, thank you, OBS, for getting rid of my microphone for the 100th time. Hello. We are here today for Roulette Rebels 2025. This is the lower bracket round 7 match between Yannini and Scruffy. This will decide who finishes in 4th place. I am joined today by In4Fun.
Hello, Chris. Hello, everyone. It's the final week. Hype.
Yeah, we've got just 4 matches left to go, and OBS was so rude as to get rid of my bracket here, but as we can see here, this is all the way at the bottom is what we're looking at here. Yannini versus Scruffy. Yannini coming from the top half, Scruffy from the lower. And Yannini's been on quite a bit of a run. He has been historically known as the LB champion, I feel like, more so than anybody else. Came down from round 1 after losing to Alf 4-6, and then has played Dutton, Ducker, Growry, Joker J, In4Fun, and Mika, defeating all of them to come up against Scruffy, who dropped down pretty recently from WB4 against Dane Nomos, who is going to be playing in the winner's bracket final. But of course, whoever wins this one will have another chance at moving back up into the final. And yeah, I mean, crazy matches from both players. Scruffy actually beat the person that took Yannini out, but Yannini, of course, very formidable, so expect this one to come down to the whatever.
Yeah, Yanni on 6 wins in a row now, and you can see that a couple of these were convincing 6-0s and 8-2s, 3 of them, in fact. But he has been 1 map away from elimination, I think, twice, right? Because obviously AB5 was against me, and that was itself an interesting one with him taking the 6-0 lead and then still getting to map 7, which he did win in Miami, eventually taking the 8-6 win. But Yanni had to do a reverse sweep to at least advance against Growry. Growry was the 4-0 lead there, and Yanni had to take 3 in a row, which he did. And the rest is history. Now he's guaranteed top 4 for, I think it's the first time since the first World Championship that he made it this far.
Yeah, that is, of course, true. Very tough matchups, and I think he's hoping probably not to have to reverse sweep today because this is going to be yet another 1st to 8 match, which means you would have to be on it for 4 maps in a row. But yeah, potential for a ton of maps here. The first of which is Mumbai, coming up in about 2 minutes here. That was picked by Yannini. There are 2 long maps and 2 short maps, and I bet you can guess who picked what. Yeah, so Yannini is not as much of a season 2 enjoyer, I feel like, historically, but Scruffy is definitely a fan of the shorter maps and not the biggest Mumbai enjoyer from what I remember. So yeah, 2 long maps. The second one being Berlin, picked by Yannini, which is typically quite a good map from Scruffy. He did lose it in his last match, but Yannini very capable there as well. And then it was Dartmoor and Hokkaido that were picked by Scruffy. And I mean, we can have a look real quick, but yeah, 32 plays on Hokkaido from Yannini is going to be quite plenty. I think used to be a favorite map of his, not so much anymore. Yeah, the season 3 maps here, as you can see, don't really fall super far in anyone's favor. The really short maps, like New York and Dartmoor, are always going to be in some ways a coin flip. Obviously, not exactly, but when you're having 2 ultra competitive players like these, but Scruffy is leaning towards those short maps and surprisingly still has any left because we are quite deep in the tournament, so most players' preferred maps are not super accessible for picks or for bans. Both players are offline. No.
Luckily, with a click of a button, that will be
lovely title from
fixed.
Scruffy there. But yeah, welcome in, Raiders. We will do a bit of explaining here in a second, but the first spin is going to go live here in just a moment. If you would like to read that one out in 4.
Sounds good, sounds good. And for this LB7, The first wave begins in Mumbai, and we have Wazir Kali's silence pistol as local security, Vanya Shah falling object as the Holy Man, and Dao Zheng and Fall as the Kashmirian. Both of these trademark accidents, I feel like, kind of warping the spin around them, and then Wazir silence pistol. It is going to be straightforward, but Scruffy is already in as a Skywalk start for that Holy Man.
Yeah, these kills are nothing to be super worried about. It can be annoying sometimes for Dawood Fall, depending on your timing, because you do kind of have to do that on the barge and not let him walk all the way. But obviously, the way people typically handle things with a sedative on the barge would get him very close, and any other means of taking care of him can get you over there quite easily. And then these disguises are basically free. Falling objects super easy as well. So we saw both players go Skywalk. I believe that's just for the easy Holy Man grab, so you don't have to worry about that. But yeah, Scruffy is already setting up here already for this falling object kill later.
I was curious whether either of them will approach Vanya. I was going to say start the Brickler with Vanya, but see, this is not something we see in roulette, whether people go for the falling object in the chain yard. Will that be an NTK for Scruffy? Depends on the ragdoll, but no, that's his local security disguise. But I guess it's more and more likely that it will be a regular Brickler and getting the two accidents around the same time, but Scruffy as the local security, making his way back to the Maelstrom, and it seems like Yannini will start as Kashmirian. It's eyeing towards the tower, but I would be surprised if he actually infiltrates it.
Yeah, I mean, we'd be living in 2020 again if we were going all the way up there for that fall kill. But Scruffy comes through quick with that Maelstrom kill as local security. Very plentiful disguise on this map. We saw him take care of that over in Dawood's area. And probably going to go get the Kashmirian now.
It looks like Yannini is going to use this more niche, but I think for this spin the more useful cauldron to trigger the Brickler at 2 flat, which I don't think is going to be causing any delays for Vanya or Dawood. It's one disguise already near the kill spots, and I assume Yannini has forever to set up the local security disguise and maybe even bring the Holy Man closer to the beach house.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you're definitely going to be looking at that boat for Vanya realistically. So you, oh brother, why was he turned that way?
That's yeah, I was say Jan is a big fan of the barge, and then that causes him a lot of ribs. But I think that
Yes.
was not fair in any means because that was a really, really weird head turn.
Yeah, I think it was just like a weird reaction to the placement of the shot. He just did one of those where he like they like turn 90 degrees after they get to the position.
Yeah, I assume that first guard was still walking towards that spot, but I guess he was still head turning towards the other guy. But last now it's a 3-minute lead for Scruffy, who has not began the Brickler, but it's basically getting as close to finishing the spin without the brick as possible, because these guys are moving towards their spots.
Yeah, I mean, Brick's gonna go in over here. As I was kind of in the middle of saying when he ripped, it doesn't really matter. Like sometimes you're worried about doing Brick in the other side because you might not have as much time as you want to get the Vanya isolation ready. But you're not gonna be isolating her because you want her to walk all the way to the boathouse. So Scruffy, I believe, had his Holy Man over there. I don't know what he's doing now.
Looks like Scruffy's gonna do these 5 KOs, but not the 6th one, and makes when you get to the beach house alone. The Holy Man should be on the barge where he took the local security at the beginning on the spin. And yeah, it feels unnecessary, but I think it's just gonna be peace of mind for the final part of the spin, not having to deal with Rima or the guards.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't really matter because he's mostly going to be waiting on Dawood coming all the way down anyways. There's like slight potential for like a side KO here maybe, but I think He probably just doesn't want to have to deal with the reaction to Vanya's body after he does the falling object kill.
Uh,
Um,
the almost free situation becomes a bit weird here because the Queen's bodyguards are running from very far away and still running. But 2 kills should still be done in this spot, even using 1 trank. That's all of them down. Scruffy has mostly some running left to do.
yeah, and we are back to exactly the position where Yanni ripped, and this time is not going to be a problem because it's going to be a trank. And yeah, I mean, setting up for the as you mentioned, kind of preferred strat in a lot of cases for Yannini, which is barge ISO, and that'll get Dawood taken care of a little bit earlier. I don't know how that timing is going to line up with Vanya here, but even if Dawood does end up walking all the way, it won't result in those bodies getting found at least, so not a huge worry. Gonna go ahead and take care of the Maelstrom now.
Yeah, I think in any case, in any situation, I would be more comfortable carrying the 3 Bollywood guards on the barge before, like, I don't know, the full sedation, just in case, but we're not even gonna get there because Scruffy is doing the bullet distraction for the 3 guards and then misses the shot, but the second one hits, still only a question mark, still green guns and no 5-second rule. And I assume a quick disguise change or a KO, I'm not sure which one first. Yeah, let Scruffy this last kill unless some terrible head turns.
Yeah, trying to get this distraction shot to make sure the local security doesn't see the Dawood KO without Dawood seeing him take the shot, and does seem to get it, is aware of this food vendor. Powerful stream buffer from Scruffy here.
That's insane. For me, it's 631, yeah.
Oh no, the frame scruffled. What happened? But yeah, I mean, the kill is in. Dawood is in the water, and as long as he has 2 coins, he should be able to exit in a second. Yeah, he's out. Brother has
That's how
pressed
the
done.
situation ends.
And yeah, I mean, Yannini's not particularly far off. Definitely not in photo finish range, though. So
Yeah, it's a difficult for Yanni because strat-wise he was at least matching, but probably reading Scruffy's approach. Of course, now he can take some more risks. 2 kills down and waiting for Dawood to arrive here. Would have been really close, but Scruffy is the first one first trying, so takes the first map as well.
yeah, I think there was just a bit more back and forth on Scruffy's side, which is where Yannini potentially could have had room to catch up. I mean, he was I don't know, maybe a little bit over a minute from finishing there, despite the 2 minute whatever restart, I think it was. So Scruffy does take Yannini's first map pick. We see up there Mumbai, and of course, next up is going to be Hokkaido in 3 minutes. And then Berlin, Dartmoor, and potentially some RNG maps, not including our bands, which are Chongqing and Haven. I guess I'm not super familiar about the Chongqing ban from Yannini. That might just be because there's not a ton of maps left, and he just doesn't want to play Chong. But I mean, Yannini is probably at about 50 plays on Haven at this point in his roulette career. So I know Scruffy doesn't really like Haven either.
I'm not sure exactly which player has selected or like had the deeper map pool in terms of like the maps already picked or banned. I think Scruffy has picked 8 maps already, which means that those are 8 maps that Yanni had no reason to ban, and if I'm not mistaken, then that narrowed down his list of bans significantly with, I think, probably maps like Dartmoor and Hokkaido already banned by Yanni, so it just worked out in a way that I think the Chongqing ban is not so meaningful, if I want to be truly honest. Probably
Yeah,
a middle of the pack map.
a lot of times this deep in a tourney, especially in a tournament where some of these matches you're picking multiple maps. Every match it kind of comes down to the point where you're just banning for RNG, especially when it's hidden RNG and you can't really prep for maybe your worst map potentially showing up. Um, And yeah, I mean, Yanni again, full lower bracket run. I can't imagine he really has any maps left.
Yeah. So first winners bracket started the first 8 one round earlier, but Yanni has played so many more matches down in the LB, so it's probably an extra map picked and banned on the left side, but I think it's a fairly even map pool. I don't think anyone's come out too victorious here. Of course, longer maps favoring Yanni, shorter maps favoring Scruffy, but it's not the top of the choices for either of these players anymore.
Yeah, in terms of the stats, I mean, 30 versus 21 players, 32 versus 21 plays. So yeah, I mean, those are definitely quick times depending on what the spins are. But will we see faster? I don't know. It is Eric Soder's Shoot the Heart as a doctor. Yuki no KO with any pistol as a baseball player. So probably not going to be record potential because you're going to be doing aquarium here more than likely, which is going to take you a couple minutes for Yuki to get there, especially when you are starting on this side because wanting to get that doctor disguise and maybe also that baseball player disguise early on to avoid complications after the Soder's kill.
Interesting, Yanni's not going for the doctor immediately, but has that dart gun in there. That just has to be a tranquilizer, I'm sure. But there, looks like he's securing the baseball player first. Yeah, gold border and trank in hand, while Scruffy can still do the same. But shooting the heart first. It's a type of kill which won't affect the area in the hospital, unlike the actual pistol shot or robot arms. So not much will change for Scruffy except someone being ceiling shot, but I'm not seeing that either. Now he gets to grab the baseball player, and we will see a lot of waste from both players, I'm sure.
Hey, you can still choose to shoot Soder's in the head after shooting the heart. If you want to make your life harder for no reason. But yeah, Scruffy, obviously immediate kill there. And probably going to have to do a bit of waiting as well as setting up that aquarium area, mostly just the guard. You're definitely not going to be waiting for sauna this early, or this late into a tournament. So one and a
Trouble for
half
Yanni.
getting over. Go
One and a
ahead.
half. 1.5 but sorry, I missed that. Sorry, never mind. Cycles didn't line up for Yanni too well, but with one trank, he gets the disguise and can make his way back down to the bodyguard. He still doesn't have the doctor, and for him, it will be a lot closer to make that aquarium timing. One thing I wasn't sure about is if... no, it doesn't matter. As we mentioned, if Scruffy gets the kill in the first 38 seconds, then the hospital director stops for longer, but obviously, as we mentioned, shoot the hard kill is not like that, so everything according to plan for the Irishman.
And yeah, Scruffy's gonna upshot this guy. Just now we see the text at the bottom triggering the two buddies over here by the aquarium, and I don't know how long it takes before they start cycling back and forth, but not really going to be able to do an upshot now that there's already been one bullet, and I guess we're just going to knock one of them out. I think it's the resort staff that moves, but just going to KO both here. And looks like Yuki just drinking out of the bottle now, so still going to be a bit of time until she's headed down to this hallway.
Kind of
Yannini,
scary there.
Yannini was kind of standing there waiting for the lady to run off because it was kind of an awkward angle to get that doctor disguise, but does get the kill in. And yeah, I mean, gonna have substantially less time than Scruffy did because as we see, Yuki is now making her way over, and he's basically going to be getting there at the last second. Yoga instructor comes in and blocks him off.
Ooh, this is for Yanni, I think, as
Yeah, it's gonna
Scruffy,
have to be
unless he
Sona.
misses the briefcase throw, which,
Oh,
oh,
brother. Why is she still
how
going
did
for it?
that work? Huh?
I don't know how she didn't enforce that to the guard, but I mean, yeah, he's done.
And with the resort staff and the handyman out of the way, which I think would make their way any second now, because it was more than a minute ago since the original trigger. Scruffy had just enough time to make those 2 KOs and finish this spin safely, and it's going to be 4-0 up.
Yeah, Yannini now we see moving into the sauna backup, but definitely not going to let you get a kill in the next 20 seconds. So Scruffy taking map number 2 so far. We are not guaranteed to see any RNG maps, but we are guaranteed to see Berlin up next. I just got jump scared by the colors changing on the overlay. But yeah, I mean, Berlin is a tough map in a lot of cases, but they're both very experienced on it. And I mean, it's the case with every map, but I feel like Berlin, more so than a lot of other maps, becomes very simple once you play it enough. And by enough, I mean a lot. Which, of course, they both have. I mean, 35 plays for Yannini, 21 for Scruffy, and, of course, much more offline.
Yeah, but
And
these are
then
very impressive win rates, both 63 on Yanni's and 71 on Scruffy's end, with huge sample size. They're definitely in the top echelons of the Berlin players. Although Yanni, admittedly, he is lost a step since he was the best at Berlin. Although he said at the beginning of the tournament, and if I checked his stats correctly, he played like 5 spins this tourney and won 4 of them. So he's definitely inching back towards the top. And Scruffy, I think, is one of the fastest players. Although not a big fan of the longer maps, I think Berlin could be an exception for him because he is very good there as well.
yeah, and especially I think in a match like this where both of your opponent's map picks are super short. If you were the type to want to practice a lot for this match, obviously you can't practice for RNG, which means that almost all of your time is going to be spent on Mumbai and Berlin for a match like this. So if some refreshers were needed, those definitely could have come in. And Skur does in fact lead 1-0. I have no idea when that match was, but apparently at some point they have played Berlin against each other. And Scruffy's stream is maybe dying.
Yeah, of course, the famous microwave moment, which breaks Scruffy's stream sometimes. Hopefully, it's gonna be back for the next, or in the next minute and a half. Scruffy and Yanni played twice against each other. RWC 23 round 2 of the knockout stage, so 2 years ago. Not really a similar part of the bracket, but deep in the World Championship. Scruffy 6-2 Yannini. And then the very next tournament are 13, round 3 of the winner's bracket. Scruffy 6-2 Yannini.
Well, this makes number 3, and I mean, of course, Scruffy has a pretty decent lead, and it's also important to note that if Scruffy does win this map, it's going to be very nerve-wracking for Yannini, with Dartmoor being map number 4. You really don't want the whole match coming down to a map that can be finished in a minute and a half. So I don't know how much the mental plays into things for Yannini, but I think it is more important to take this map than perhaps any other in this match. And only 30 seconds left.
Yeah, I half read this Osh message. I'm not sure. Yeah, he's talking about Scruffy. I was gonna talk about Yanni and if he's looking nervous, because he does look a bit nervous, especially the Mumbai, not really, but the Hokkaido being lost on the map kinda was maybe the nerves coming up for these short type of maps. But he's back on home turf and he needs to win this map. I think I'll take this one.
What's the
So
spin?
to avoid an 0-6 and to be very much back down in this match. Scruffy stream is not good, but I'll read the spin anyway. Maybe we'll respin, but I don't know. Explosion Accident Club Crew, Battle Axe, Club Security, NTKO, Next Net Technician, Consume Poison Button there, and Fire Delivery Guy.
This spin is crazy easy. And I don't know if Scruffy's going to be able to play it because his stream came back up with like a minute and a half to the spin and then exploded about 5 seconds before it went live.
Yeah, it's obviously difficult to say because this might be the only kind of tech issue we usually let the players play out, but protocol could always guarantee that we cancel the spin until the player is really back. So good luck, Afro.
Please, Twitch. Yeah, I mean, I don't know how much he's actually been messing with it. Or like, I don't. He might just be playing the spin, like chilling, and not knowing the stream is dying. In which case, it wouldn't really be affecting his gameplay too much. But we do kind of want to see the stream. Okay, yep, he's playing the game. There's the delivery guy on the ground. Um, Basically in the same position as Yanni is right now, literally in the same position. And yeah, I mean, as I said, you're going to want to bring Consume Poison for this spin and maybe an oil can. Other than that, nothing really needed. And all of these disguises are obtainable upstairs. You can give 5 kills upstairs, which is almost always the fastest, I guess, framework you can hope for a balloon spin, which hopefully isn't putting on the nerves too much. We saw, of course, Consume Poison Bartender, the lore accurate kill there. Yannini gets the explosion accident kill very quickly after onto Swan, as Scruffy is actually looking to do Incinerator Fire. And
And
yeah,
it's
this
oh
bullet distraction, very important. Go ahead.
yeah, that was kind of needed. I think. Oh, the second one is much more needed because
Yeah.
I think that biker only has like a 1 second part of his cycle when he can be a trouble, and it didn't look like that. But yes, Scruffy gets it done. 2 kills down. Triangles are coming in nicely. Jan is gonna also approach Lowenthal, but not in a way which would imply the fire kill. Or is this gonna be the canister? Kill the oil and both.
I don't know if I mean they shouldn't. The bikers in the hangout room shouldn't hear this, but like fire is very loud, and yeah, it seems like they don't. That's kill number 3 for Yanni, and battle axe pickup here would be good, and then we're probably gonna see, or at least what I would think would be to bring that up to green, and then triple shot banner, and then you're on those stairs right next to your delivery bike exit after that, and banner kill would not be live, so very easy for that next snap. Scruffy is looking to get kill number 3 here, I guess. Yeah,
Scruffy in
that's
disguise is here.
oil can
Now
for explosion accident.
he's leaving it behind. No, it's gonna be an explosion accident. Oh, but of course, since the fire has been, it's interesting to see that both of them brought the canister but use it on different kills. But
Yeah,
it's true now, 3 kills each.
I wonder if Scruffy came in planning on using a canister for explosion accident, or if it just kind of worked out that way. But either way, it does work, and is now heading up with that battle axe in a similar position to what I was talking about earlier. Yannini has actually opted to go downstairs, which works as well. Of course, banner downstairs is extremely common, and looking to get Chamberlain here very close on that drag, but does get it down.
Yeah, I suppose both of them are virtually one
Hey,
banner lure away.
that's going to be your technician kill, which was not the plan for Yannini, because he's going to have to
Ooh,
walk back over here after that.
yeah, no live kill there for Yanni, but doesn't seem like a big detour because that's gonna be kill number 4. Changes it to the technician.
I mean, this is going to be a
Hides
photo
even
finish.
Jackson. That's for sure, but Scruffy with the 5th kill. How close is he to the scooter? A couple seconds from now, but Yanni is also going to the basement
Does he have
exit.
the
This is gonna be super
keys?
close.
He does have the keys. Yeah, I don't know if
Yes.
there's any stream delay for Scruffy. It looks like not really. Couple seconds, but
Wow.
two seconds apart. Uh,
Yeah.
yeah, crazy.
I guess the one unknown is whether Scruffy had extreme loading times during his stream internet issue affected load. We'll have to see that, but 425 was the world record and still is, but 443 is the 3rd best completion ever, and 445 is the 4th best completion ever. Of course, only one of them will be put into our stats, or neither if it's going to be a tie.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully Scruffy was recording locally. I know he said in the past that he was always doing that. I don't know if that's still true, but I know he lost a map in the past because of not doing that. Same sort of internet issues, so I think probably he did. Otherwise, I don't know if we can see the load, because of course the stream was dead during the first like 30 seconds of his run. Um, but yeah, I mean, super
Yeah,
close finishing times here for exiting on different halves of the map.
This is a unique situation because we don't really need the local recording for a kill, although of course the first 50 seconds to 1 minute would be useful to see, but we can of course fill the gaps there, but we do need to know how long Scruffy has loaded because that will decide the entire photo finish.
At first, is I have no idea what to do. I think a couple people are helping her in the back end, and hopefully Scruffy is getting something here as well. Yeah, there's a local recording of the load, it looks like. I mean, 2 seconds apart here. It's definitely I mean, it is the tie window. But I know Scruffy preloaded, and I don't think Yannini did. Or
And he
maybe I'm
usually
thinking about,
doesn't anymore.
yeah. Um, I guess that might be partially because of the crashes with the patch in terms of having multiple loads. But I mean, not a huge way that either of them could have sped anything up. I mean, I get like at the end you could like boost down and then kill Banner by the bridge, and that would probably save you like, I don't know, maybe 15 seconds over Banner up. But for the most part, I mean, everything flowed together super well. It was a 5 up spin, so of course that's liable to happen. But neither of them really looked like they were lost on what target to go for next. Um,
Yeah, I think it was just the smaller things where if it does end up being a Yanni win, where Scruffy could have gained a bit more time. I'm remembering the bullet distractions and extra jacks that he had to do for the fire kill with Loventhal, but especially the back and forth with
yeah,
Agent
Thames.
Thames and the eventual club security explosion. Because he was the one who was not kept by, I guess, anyone. The banner was, was his decision when banner would come up, while Bastiani also switched up with his final 2 kills, but it didn't end up being a huge detour. Maybe that's 5 seconds that would have made the full difference, but pretty well played by both.
Yeah, I mean, I think accident explosion kill is like one of the hardest things to fit into a route on Berlin because uh like most maps you think of explosion and accident kill, you can do it at basically any time. Um and so when you're thinking about that in the context of you can do the kill on any of 10 different agents, it's very difficult to know like who you should go for because there's not really a huge preference for any target on that front. And of course, Scruffy did choose Thames because he had the disguise that he needed, but positioning wasn't great on that, of course. And it
Yeah,
seems like results close here.
yeah, because it was the official
Okay, we've
wave by
waved it
Scruffy.
now. Yeah, I mean, you can't see in the admin channel, but they were looking at the loads, and it was definitely favored such that Scruffy could comfortably wave it in order to not make her deal with the specifics. But yeah, we're prepping for Dartmoor now, and as Scruffy counted the loads himself, that's true. That did in fact happen for sure. Um,
Yeah, it happens more and more by the players who play themselves. It's a good, good double check.
but yeah, that means Yannini is not in the position to potentially lose on Dartmoor, and gives him a bit more room because we will see at least one RNG map after this. That being one of the 13 maps that are not at the top of the screen right now. And you won't have to wait too long for that because I think this Dartmoor, more than likely, even if we do see maybe a rip, will probably be done in the next couple of minutes here.
Yeah, although it could just be what happened between Yanni and Mika with like a 7 minute New York, 8 minute New York. I don't even remember anymore, but it was uncharacteristically long for a deep RWC one target spin. But I don't know what the equivalent would be, like a 4 minute Dartmoor by the
Yeah,
time which you would
these
recover.
guys suck. I would never spend that much time on New York, clueless. Um, our stats are a little lopsided here. We've got 10, 12, and 0 from Yanni, and 11, 3, and 3. So definitely a more favored win rate on Scruffy. And I'm going to say those 3 ties are probably not timeouts. but what do I know?
Yeah, you know, maybe a rookie Scruffy is just
Mika.
figuring out the game more than 30 minutes just go past so
Yeah,
fast.
I mean, Undertaker consumed poison. I mean, who could finish that spin in 30 minutes, to be honest? Um,
Oh, looks like Mika's mad at me. I apologize for my previous comments about certain maps in certain rounds.
uh, no pink name, no say. Anyways, Yannini, we saw Scruffy there planning for Shotgun Gang in this run through, and Yannini is currently Nothing Gang.
You know,
Um,
just when the spin needs a fifth and a sixth Jank Dart.
so unfortunately, he will be losing by 3 seconds if the spin is Silent Shotgun, but you never know. Neither of us know. Afro is our admin. So. Such a wonderful surprise. I mean, what kind of interesting kill methods could we see here today on Dartmoor and 4? Why don't you enlighten us a bit?
Let me look up bit.ly/Dartmoor
The
home
spreadsheet.
and just, yes, and just
Which
read
one of these
through
takes
them
the
one by one.
longest?
Great question. Will any of them take longer than the consumed? I think I could think of a couple
Long
pairings
consumed
like
animation plus 10 seconds.
Rip. Smother would take longer, but we aren't woke enough for
Ew.
that yet. I think the ones I have most trouble with is if it's like a fast forward spin, but it's live scissors or yeah, or live kitchen knife and upper disguise, like probably Undertaker. Those ones can get very tricky and probably need a double seeker for that even.
Well, shall we be so enthralled as to see a kill method like that? What is our Dartmoor spin? It is Alexa Carlisle Unicorn Horn as the Undertaker. It is the Undertaker. We're so happy. This is going to be a crazy spin. Scruffy hasn't plus play yet. GG, it's over. See you guys next
Yeah,
time.
Scruff is looking up the unicorn horn. I'm pretty sure, and I can already, if Scruffy wins this map, because that's when he watches these back, he will call me out for that one. But of course,
Yeah,
the battle of stream delays, we know. Yeah.
you actually need a shotgun to take the unicorn horn. I think is how that works. It's funny because the unicorn horn is an item you can bring in loadout, but you will lose the map if you spend the time selecting the item in your loadout menu. So, and I mean, when you're not starting PI, it's obviously super free to get one on your way. Both players are taking the free security to get themselves through the garden a bit easier, and yeah, I mean, they're just gonna go get the Undertaker, and that's about it.
Yeah, we have to remember that Scruffy has a couple extra seconds of stream delay, or maybe
Yeah.
for me. No, I looking at you as well. Uh, but I would still probably expect the dump presses at a very similar time. Maybe if, of course, Scruffy is so ethical as he was at the end of Mumbai, there could be a difference. But for now, there's not a lot of things remaining. Both of them have 2 chunks remaining and will, or should use both of them to finish up this
Yeah, I
catch
mean,
grab.
we were making jokes, but I don't think it took Scruffy 10 seconds to figure out how to do this spin. Um, and yeah, 2 darts left, 2 used on the tokens, and of course the 2 darts left will be used on this Undertaker for both players. And now we run over to Alexa, and you can throw the unicorn at her through the window without climbing in, and then
Scruffy took the lead here, and I am not really sure why. Yanni took a couple extra seconds using the second chunk, or had a longer animation on the Undertaker. Maybe he was the first one made sedated, but
well, he's
Scruffy's
definitely
gonna
the
be the
first one
first
out.
finisher. By a long margin. I think it was even until the disguise grab, but a 9-second difference in the end.
Yeah, it seems like he had about maybe like 5 seconds of stream delay there, and 9 seconds about is the final difference. I don't know if Yanni was just like waiting longer on the second case file token grab or what, but no live replay unfortunately. And yeah, I mean sub 2 for both players, obviously. Quite a simple spin. And I mean, I guess we did see Yannini load for substantially longer than Scruffy in the last map. I don't know if it will be enough here. Maybe at most it'll just barely be a photo finish tie, but
Oh, I think I'm seeing where Yanni lost the lead, and he's not sure how he lost the map, but I think it will be a loss. Yanni made the Undertaker sick first, which is in itself a longer animation, but then he moved towards the bushes a bit further away from the Undertaker to take the second chunk on the Gardener Lady. So of course that animation had to finish, and then the
Yeah.
Undertaker had to fall. So it was about that 4 or 5 second difference that was the final in-game time difference as well.
Yeah, on the loading times, like I mean, it's Dartmoor. Like I don't think there's gonna be as long as of a load nearly for Yannini as we saw on a map like Berlin. Dartmoor is I don't know, one of the smallest maps in the game. So um, I think his PC. I've seen it. I think it's rather capable of loading Dartmoor in less than 8 seconds.
Yeah, especially it may be even with a preload, but that's not going to be an issue. And then still, Scruffy's load itself. So I think all things considered, it should come out to that 5 second difference we see between Yanni and Scruffy.
Well, Scruffy is currently ready to go to our RNG map, which is not Miami. Get rolled. It is everyone's favorite map, if you are literally just me, which is Marrakesh.
Yeah, so it
I,
begins.
I mean, Scruffy does have a toss named after him, which I think means he has the advantage here.
Yeah, if the spin is exclusively about tossing items, but
Exactly. Let's go.
Scruffy is unfazed by the map reveal. He will play a bit of
He does not care.
Miami first. Yeah. To be fair,
Uh,
this is a triple match point situation, so maybe he's playing the long game.
yeah, I think. I mean, Yannini is quite known in a lot of cases for season one maps, right? So I do also know that he is very capable of like double emetic lockdown, just I mean the normal stuff on the map you would expect to speed up your spins. So Scruffy, of course, a turbo gamer as well, as we've seen from his performance history. Um, so yeah, I mean
I'm gonna be curious to see.
they might have different strats here, but they both know what they're doing. And unfortunately, Fortune Teller has been in the spin every single match this tournament somehow, but maybe not this time. I'm gonna say, what kind of riveting thing? Let's how about Fortune Teller letter opener and local printing crew battle axe.
I literally wanted to say letter opener because I think that's gonna be the favorites of these players as well. It could be a very interesting. It wouldn't necessarily be interesting, but if the spin is very double limmatic heavy, then they are obviously both going for it, and then the mirrored gameplay will be, well, for me interesting, for others not so much. But if we see a tougher, longer spin, will they just innovate, or will they just focus on Klaus 230, which I think they it will pain them to do something that slow, but sometimes they play.
I mean, a lot of times just doing the fallback strat is worth it when you're playing against somebody that you know can more than likely also first try.
Some sort of
Scruffy has the
talk 10 seconds before.
Scruffy has the snail between the wrong two dots, but only that doesn't come into play.
Well,
How could you
unless
not know the tiny little spot you need? What is it? What's the spin? In4Fun. What's the spin?
it is in fact not Fortune Teller, so it's
No.
Razor Blade and SMG's bodyguard and Klaus Chandler Electrocution as shopkeeper, so get wrecked anyone trying to go
Let's go.
undercover in Zayden's compound, lead soldier.
Yeah, so electrocution for Klaus is super easy, and we're gonna both see them do that setup very soon here. The potential optimization here comes from fitting in both disguises, because you can try to delay Klaus a bit, which will give you room to not just have to stand on your disguise bags, but yeah, you're not gonna be
Oh, Scruffy with the
waiting
restart
crazy
time.
long. And I guess in the
I think,
meantime, we'll refresh his stream. Maybe.
yeah, I was going to say the same thing as well, but now it will be all even, I think. Might be the first major rip since Yanni's in Mumbai, so like the second on this match, but it's not even a big deal. But bit of an in-game time difference. Both of them will be waiting for the Klaus kill at 220, 230-ish. And I think they will be waiting on the bodyguard disguised as the shopkeeper. I don't think disguises will be too much of a problem.
Yeah, both players, I think, going for the white robe shopkeeper here is usually the easiest one to get on the map, of course, other than potentially the free one, which is harder to get to, but it is a bag, so. Yeah, I mean, neither had any sort of delay for Klaus or anything, so just the normal kill, and Scruffy did, in fact, rip at literally the earliest possible time you could rip in the spin, so I don't think he's too worried about that.
Doesn't really seem like the chain is working perfectly, but he still has time
Yeah,
if he grabs this guy's at 120.
the problem for Scruffy there is that the shopkeeper is, a shopkeeper, and the weird thing that they do where they like kind of follow you around and be like, "Look at my stuff," overrides most everything. Which is why that phone chain couldn't come in. But again, I mean, he was just gonna be waiting here anyway, so it doesn't really matter. And just looking out for the woman here, it looks like.
Jan is leaving the area despite having the bodyguard disguise secured. Is he looking for... Oh, the crowbar. He does not have a crowbar.
Yeah, there is a crowbar back here. I'm surprised that he knows that it's there, but he is a gamer, and seems like he needed it because it's the only one in his inventory right now.
But this kind of means that he will be losing a couple of seconds. He could be going towards Razor by now. Oh, hello, lady.
Yeah, a little bit of good timing there that she was just leaving as soon as we came back for the disguise bag. Scruffy didn't have to worry about that since he was already in the bathroom. She didn't want to come in there. But yeah, same sort of disguise change here. You're gonna go ahead and use the triple shot. Looks like same as Scruffy to infiltrate. Basically just... I don't know why they always like take 2 steps up, like always, and then come back, but yeah, they're just
moving
looking
out of the bubble just enough.
Yeah, exactly. They're just giving you room to move in, so.
The Anno Madness shot, thank you, Moo. We can call it clear.
No beatdown. Crazy.
The cycles worked out differently. Scruffy didn't need to wait for a roaming elite, and Yanni had to waste one more blue egg, and now the difference is like 3 to 5 seconds with Scruffy having the extra load, and I still have the stream delay, so it is basically back to even on your end. I'll do the same as well. This could be tougher and tougher for Yanni to save it for at least a tie.
Yeah, and that start in the upper floor of the consulate to set up that electrocution kill means no keys in the hand right now. Oh, brother Scruffy! My God. What are you doing? But yeah, anyways, he grabbed the keys with no problems whatsoever. And,
Easy as that.
yeah,
Which is
exactly.
huge for this spin, because Yanni doesn't have the keys, but he will get the kill up here and probably rush through there with at least a snail remaining. This is going to be close. Depends on how much Yanni is sending it. I think Yanni will be sending it.
Yeah, against the Scruffster. You probably want to, and yeah, I think it's better to start in the parking garage, literally just to pick up these keys, because as we saw, you know that you're going to be waiting because those are both super easy disguises to get, and Yannini does get those truck keys very easily, but again is 10 seconds behind, which is not quite as big a gap on Marrakesh as it is on Dartmoor, but that is very likely to be it for the match today.
Especially with Scruffy having that extra load there. So yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if it's about the same time for both. And indeed, that is likely to be a Scruffy 8-2, so a similar scoreline than previously, 6-2, 6-2, and now 8-2. And then Yanni waves with a sedge, ending a very impressive World Championship run.
I think it basically did come down to the crowbar, actually. Like, I think if Yanni hadn't had to have those like 10 extra seconds, or I don't know exactly what it was, of going back to the bag after the wait for the kill had already ended, and then that pushing the cycle further to have to wait on the elite guard, um, became a big problem there towards the end. But yeah, that does do it for. Do we have a official time difference? No, maybe it'll come in a second. But yeah, that does give the win officially to Scruffled, who will advance. We can have a look see there.
Scruffy scoring his third podium finish in a row, guaranteed. Of course, the 23 runner-up and the 24 and defending champion now guaranteed to finish third with at least one more match remaining, which could be two if he faces his last obstacle of the losers bracket victoriously. He will play the loser of the winners bracket final. Will either be Daynomus or the Time Cube.
Yeah, out of the 4 players that were remaining, only 2 of them had the potential to be new world champions, and one of them was just eliminated in Yannini. So Scruffy having won, and the Time Cube as well, who we'll look at in a second in the upper bracket, have already won. So it basically just comes down to Dane. That's what you're looking for. And yeah, I mean, Scruffy is basically the favorite in every tournament that he's been in. So makes sense, of course, to see him this far. And Dane Nomos versus the Time Cube. That is one of the only 3 matches left. And the winner of that will advance to the grand final, which I think should be happening this weekend if everything lines up. And the loser is going to drop down to play against Scruffy for that second spot in the grand final. And I believe that WE final is going to be happening in 2 days at the same time as now. We'll see that in a minute, but yeah, should give a good amount of time before Sunday to get that in. And what are the maps? They are Whittleton, Haven, Sapienza, and New York. That is again Dane Nomos versus Time Cube, and yeah, 19 CET, and that is 1 p.m. I think Eastern time on Wednesday.
Yeah, gonna be Wednesday. Traditionally, it's Friday for the LB final and then Sunday for the grand final. But of course, we'll see about the availability. We have people from very different parts of the world.
On LB round 7, should I be asking Scruffy for an interview?
Scruffy's here if he feels up for it.
Scruffy, get in the voice call. But yeah, guaranteed now to be third place at worst, as you said. Another podium finish for the Scruffster. Same for these 2 players. One of them, whoever wins that match, will be guaranteed at least second place. And I think this match is first to 10, if I'm not wrong. And then the final is going to be first to 12. So,
yep.
A bit of a longer match.
Final and the loser bracket final are first 10.
So even longer matches for these last 3, but should be some pretty quick completions there. Is Bro getting in here or not? Hello, Scruffy.
It's already being interviewed by others, I feel like.
You didn't hear me ask. Bro, this guy, he's so old.
Hello, Scruffy. Congratulations on your win.
Hello. Thank you.
Yay! Scruffled.
That was a very strong performance. How do you feel about it?
Yeah, I think it was good. I think, like I messed up a couple of things, but overall, I think it was a very good match. Like for me personally, obviously I don't know how Yannini did. But like I'm very happy with how I did compared to some of my other matches this tournament.
Yeah, Yanni was, I think, very close to you for from map 3 onwards. Map 1 Mumbai had a rip 2.5 minutes in, and
Okay.
Hokkaido, yeah, it's difficult to say. I think the strats would have lined up pretty close to each other. His looked like more optimal, but in game time it's hard to predict halfway into Mumbai. Hokkaido though was yeah, he was near there for the aquarium timing, but not quite, and was held back by yoga instructor and stuff, so didn't quite work out. But from a strong 4-0 lead, he definitely made it very close, despite looking 8-2. It was a very, very close match.
Yeah, on
Did he-
Hokkaido, I think that was he got baseball player before the Soder's kill, and then didn't have the doctor once he was back with the baseball player yet, even though he started surgeon, so he had to go back up for
Okay.
that. And then like by the time he
Right.
was starting to move to aquarium, it was already in like a 10-second timing window for him to get it, and it just
Okay,
ended
yeah.
up going to sauna, but you were already out.
I was kind of just waiting around for a long time for
Yeah.
aquarium. I just started knocking everybody out.
I think it was a good decision because you triggered them quite early. I think they would have made a
Yeah, I think I triggered them too early.
yeah.
And then like, I did the ceiling shot, but that would have been way too early also because he would have come down.
Yeah, I think
He would have come
ultimately a
down
good
once he
decision.
finished investigating.
I mean, I guess you're probably not super worried about what RNG map is going to show up when you're up 6-2, but I mean, how were we feeling about the Marrakesh versus
Like
a real season
I
one
feel like he's
enjoyer?
pretty good. Like Yannini's pretty good at Marrakesh, so I don't know, I felt it was kind of 50-50. But then
Yeah, I mean,
when the spin came up, I thought it was something that would be pretty good for me.
you guys basically did the same thing, except he went to fit in the keys after the kill instead of before, and that was the like
Okay.
10-second difference at the end.
Did he also have a rip or
No.
No, he didn't.
okay?
It was interesting though because he had both the black and the snail, and but no crowbar, and he realized it at 1:55 in game time at the shisha toilet. So he went all the way to the I don't know, the west exit. I'm not sure how you call it. Take that.
Yeah.
The Bazaar. Yeah.
Niche crowbar, the bazaar exit. So in the end, it kind of felt like as if he was waiting in the shisha toilet for like 6 or 7 seconds after the kill.
Okay.
Kind of
Yeah.
diminishing his lead.
Oh, he had an
Making it
SMG. I
very
didn't even
close.
know that. No.
Oh, he even had an SMG. Oh. And he even had a snail, so
I was clueless as well.
It's very tiny differences. I had to really carefully analyze the dart more for Yanni, like, because it was tied, but he lost 5 seconds to the like felt like losing 5 seconds to the grab, and
Okay.
just came down to where he's shooting from, who's he shooting first, as tiny margins as you can imagine.
I also just I like to turn on speed hacks when I'm running, so that makes it a bit faster
Real.
too.
I think it was quite subtle. Well done on this.
I mean, we watched you have like a
Yeah,
20-second plan. That was the only way you could have won, I think.
it was like a 1.05 times, and it's just about not noticeable.
Really? Anyone else in the community do that? No. Okay. Yeah, I don't know, Scruffled. If you have any thoughts about your next match, I think we covered most of this. Obviously, you are a time cube enjoyer like the rest of us. I don't know if you have any specific feelings about Dane, if they are the one to drop down.
I mean, I think it should be a fun match either way. Like I have a losing record against both of them.
Right.
Time Cube has beat me twice, and Dane has beat me 3 times. So it'll be nice to get a bit of revenge either way. Hopefully.
Timecube says, "Let me know if you need picks for Dean." I don't imagine that you most of the three of you have any maps left to pick. I mean, I guess they are both winners bracket, so maybe a bit more.
But you can enjoy the map reset for the loser bracket final. It's a new thing this year.
What? Oh, I forgot about that.
No, it was reset.
Yeah.
Does it get reset again for the grand final? Or no?
Yeah,
I voted in favor of that, and I didn't even remember it.
I probably did too. Or
maybe
I
it's a
didn't
fever
vote on
dream
that
and
one.
I'm lying.
No, that sounds right. I don't know. But yeah, 2 days to wait, and of course, Scruffy will be practicing all 19 maps nonstop the next 2 days, and we will see him gaming on those RNG maps. I don't know if you guys have any more thoughts as we wrap it up here.
I'm looking for something in chat, but nothing from me. Well done, Scruffy, and good luck in the LB final.
Thank you.
Okay, well, thanks to In4Fun for joining me. Thanks to Scruffy for eventually also joining me, and congratulations, of course, on the guaranteed podium position. Thanks to Afro for dealing with the absolute garbage that was Scruffy's stream. I'm just kidding. Yeah, we'll see you guys on Wednesday. Tune in, big match, and goodbye.